All right, let's get into it. Taming the Diva, your complete guide to the weeping fig. If you've ever bought one of these gorgeous plants only to watch it throw a fit and drop its leaves, you are absolutely in the right place.
And you know, this quote from plant expert Marina Remislow just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? A diva that drops its leaves at the slightest inconvenience. I mean, how true is that? We've all been there. You walk past it a little too quickly, and suddenly, poof, it's a leaf blizzard on your floor. But here's the thing, we put up with all that drama for a very good reason. They are just stunning. The Ficus benjamina has this incredibly graceful, almost tree-like shape that can literally transform a room. It is a total classic for a reason.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we keep this beautiful diva happy and finally put an end to that dreaded leaf drop? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We are going to demystify this plant and turn that frustration into a huge success.
Okay, let's start with the golden rules of care. Because really, it's all about mastering two key secrets to a happy ficus. If you can get these two things right, you're pretty much 90% of the way there. Okay, so before we talk about light or water or anything else, this right here is the master key: consistency. This one word is everything. This plant is a total homebody. It craves stability and it absolutely hates being moved. Any kind of sudden change is basically its mortal enemy.
Which brings us to golden rule number 1, the right light. It wants lots of bright but indirect light. A spot near an east or west-facing window is usually the perfect sweet spot. Too much direct sun and you're going to scorch the leaves. Not enough light and it'll get all thin and leggy. And here's the pro tip that ties it all together. Once you find that perfect spot, just leave it there. Seriously, do not move it.
And golden rule number 2 is all about perfect watering. This is where so many of us get tripped up. So let's look at the signs. If you see yellow leaves dropping off, that's almost always a sign of overwatering, which is the #1 cause of root rot. On the flip side, if the leaves are crispy and falling off, well, you've let it get bone dry. It's all about finding that balance.
So, how do you get it just right? It's actually super simple. Step 1, and you can't skip this, check the soil. Stick your finger in there. If the top inch or 2 is dry, it's time to water. Step 2, when you do water, give it a really good soak until water runs out the bottom. And then, this is so critical, Step 3, dump out all the excess water from the saucer. Never, ever let it sit in a puddle. That's a fast track to disaster. All right, so now that we have the golden rules down, let's move on to creating a stable home. We're gonna build the perfect, stress-free environment that this plant is just gonna love. So here's your quick checklist. For soil, you want something that's rich but drains really well. For temperature, anything that's comfortable for you between 65 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit is perfect for them. They do like a bit of humidity, somewhere in the 40 to 60% range. And for fertilizer, remember, less is more. Only feed it in the spring and summer, and always at half strength. And if your home is on the dry side, especially in winter, boosting the humidity is a total game changer. It helps prevent those crispy leaf tips. You can mist it a few times a week, that's easy. Or you can put it on a pebble tray with some water. My favorite trick, though, is to just group it with other plants. They create their own little humid microclimate. But of course, a small humidifier is always the most effective way to go.
Now, I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again because it is that important. You have to protect this plant from drafts. This is absolutely non-negotiable. A sudden blast of cold air from a window or hot air from a vent is one of the fastest ways to trigger a massive leaf drop.
Okay, let's get into troubleshooting and thriving. You've created the perfect stable home, but what happens when things still go a little wrong? And how can we take your care from just surviving to truly thriving?
So let's talk about that #1 complaint, the leaf drop. The most crucial thing to remember is that this isn't a disease, it's a symptom. It's the plant's way of screaming, "I'm stressed." So if it starts happening, don't panic. Just go back and review the golden rules. Was it moved? Is the watering off? Was there a draft? The answer is almost always right there.
And hey, once you've mastered the basics, you can have some fun exploring all the different kinds out there. You've got Starlight with these beautiful, creamy marbled leaves, or Midnight, which is so dramatic with its dark, almost black leaves. There's Monique with its cute, wavy edges, and even a dwarf variety called Too Little, which has these tiny, curled leaves. There's really a ficus for every style.
Now, if you want that full, bushy look, pruning is your best friend. The best time to do it is late winter or early spring. Just grab some clean shears and maybe some gloves because the sap can be irritating, and trim off any dead or crossing branches.
If you make your cut just above a leaf node, that tells the plant to send out new branches from that spot, which is how you get that awesome dense shape.
And what's more rewarding than making new plants for free? Propagating these is surprisingly easy. All you have to do is take a 4 to 6 inch cutting, pull the leaves off the bottom half, and pop it in a jar of water. Just change the water every few days, and before you know it, you'll see roots. Once they're an inch or two long, you can pot it up, and boom, you have a brand new baby ficus.
All right, we have covered a lot. So let's wrap this up with a quick pro tip cheat sheet. Just the most important takeaways you need to remember. Here it is. Find that great spot and keep it there. Don't overwater, let that topsoil dry out. Prune in spring for a fuller shape. Boost the humidity, especially in the winter. You can rotate it a quarter turn, but don't relocate it. Wipe the leaves down once in a while to keep them clean and check for pests. And finally, I can't say it enough, protect it from drafts. This is your recipe for success.
And this is why it's all worth it. You know, your average houseplant might live for a few years, but a happy weeping fig, it can be with you for 20 years or even more. This isn't just a temporary plant, it's a long-term companion that can literally grow up with you and your family. So that brings us to the final question. Is the weeping fig really a diva, or is it just deeply misunderstood? Sure, it drops its leaves, but it's not doing it just to be difficult, it's just communicating. It's telling you its needs very, very clearly. Once you learn to speak its language, the language of consistency, you realize it's not a diva at all. It might just be the most honest plant you'll ever own.